My vocation happened in a skating rink in Temple, Texas. One of the young priests said, "You know that Ed Docapil is going to the seminary?" And so I heard myself say, "I am too."
Hello, my name is Father Michael Noriega, and I'm currently the parochial vicar at St. Elizabeth of Hungary Catholic Church in Pflugerville, Texas. And today I'm with Monsignor Elmer Holtman out here at Eagle's Wings Retreat Center in Burnet, Texas. Monsignor, it's really exciting to be with you today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Before we get started, could you just tell us maybe a little bit about what you've been doing, what you're doing out here at Eagle's Wings, your role here, what your life looks like?
Yes, I'm the chaplain here at Eagle's Wings, and I work with the retreatants as they come in, and spend many hours with confessions and various other kinds of things that I need to do with at the here. But at the same time, I'm in retirement. I always say that. But retirement is not quitting.
Mm-hmm.
Retirement is something where you change gears a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and you go. You're going for schedules and so forth and so on, and retiring, you kind of back away from that and do the things that, and a lot of hobbies. I have a hobby of woodworking. I like to hunt, I like to fish, I like to do various gardenings and so forth and so on. So all of that, is a great thing to do to keep you busy when the retreats are not going on. So it's been a great time for me over the last 16 years, with helping to actually be here for Eagles Wings Retreat Center to be the beginning of it. So it's been exciting.
I like the way you put that in terms of retirement isn't, quitting, but it's just changing gears.
Yeah.
And you're a priest forever.
Yeah.
And exercising your priestly ministry in a new way. Let's go back to the beginning. Could you tell us a little bit about where you're from and how you received your call to the priesthood?
Sure. I'm from a little place of Westphalia, Texas. And Westphalia, Texas is out in the middle of the farm area, and it has nothing big around it except the corn. So it's been something that a good place to grow up. It was all German, all Catholic, about a 5-mile radius. And so probably we're the only one community around that had a public school that was taught by nuns.
Fascinating.
Yes. So it was very important at that time the church was really the center of everything. We had the little community there. We had our little grocery stores. We had our beer joints and the various other kinds of things that were very important for all of us German people.
Yes.
So it was a great place to grow up in. It was simple, the farm. There wasn't a lot of exciting things, but we didn't really know that there was more than that, and that was it. So it's been good. I had a great family. I just enjoyed. We worked out in the fields and so forth, but at the same time, we also would go places and do things every now and then. And then we had church was probably the center of who we were in that sense, because the parish in Westphalia, it was kind of we had our dance halls there, we had everything that we needed, the schools and so forth. So that was really kind of the center, and we did. As far as my family is concerned, one of the things that was important is that we I would never think about not going to Mass on Sunday. It was, which Mass do you want to go to? And so it was a great way to experience, the spirituality of the whole community, and it was community. So I think that one of the cause of my vocation, there was others. I'm the youngest of 8 in our family, and so I had my older brother was a priest, and he went into the seminary when he got out of high school.
Was that Monsignor Clyde?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was Clyde. That was famous Clyde. So it was. I think I'll have to say that this is what really made me think about priesthood, because I saw him as a happy person and one that enjoyed what he was doing, and the time that he had off. Well, all these kinds of things were kind of material, but at the same time, really kind of the start of thinking about it. And so I think that, I was always a little wondering, should I not be going to the seminary? And I had a difficulty, just making the decision. And so when, it happened, my vocation really happened in a skating rink in Temple, Texas.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. Well, the went to the skating rink there, and one of the young priests said, "You know that Ed Docapil is going to the seminary?" And so I heard myself say, "I am too." Because every time I tried to do something else, after I got out of high school, I always felt like I was running away from something. So I'd go back again to that again. And so that really was the call that I had, at that particular time. And you never know when the Spirit's going to hit you on that. And so it's been a great experience for me over the years. I've been ordained 61 years, and it's a lot of changes. I think one of the things that I really enjoyed about my ministry is that it was all different. The very first ministry was associate at Sacred Heart Parish, which was a brand new parish at that time. And then secondly, to St. Mary's in Waco, which is a downtown parish. And then 6 years at Texas A&M as pastor there. So that was important, and that was something that was exciting. And then I went to St. William's in Round Rock from there, and that's where I connected with the Hispanics at that point. And it really was, I think, kind of in a beginning of a new phase of who I was as a priest. I didn't really feel like I was very effective because we had the Anglos in one place and the Hispanics in another. It was almost like having two parishes. So I was thinking that I'm not any good. So it was on my 40th birthday, and after the masses, somebody came to the rectory and said, "Somebody wants to talk to you out there in the hall." So I was complaining and griping. Was when I opened the door, there was a mariachi there and the Anglos were there. So this was the first time that I really saw people working together and being together, and so it was again another call. And that's one of the things that I think is very important for me now, that every time that I get up and celebrate Eucharist for the people out there, it's for them. And they're calling me to be the presider at their Eucharist, not mine, their Eucharist. So we look at that, and I think that every time that I experience this kind of thing that I'm being called again, I kind of look at that as a new call, and it really renews it, and helps me to do. I always did the best with homilies when I was able to see the people and how they were reacting to things.
Sure.
When they started moving around a little bit, and looking around, it was time to quit because I really lost them. So it was great to see that and experience it, and it continues on to be that way. After I retired, I was 72 when I moved out here, and I'm 88 at this time. So it's been a good travel. It's been a good experience, and so I'm happy about that.
You've seen a lot in your life as a priest. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what your seminary formation was like, and then you were in seminary during the Second Vatican Council,
That's
correct?
true. Yeah.
Could you tell us, what was your formation like, and how did Vatican II affect the seminary? Were y'all
Well,
thinking?
the seminary was, I guess I would say it would be, very strict, and you had a schedule to go by, and that was it. You had class time, you had play time for recreation, and time to eat, and time to be there for celebration of the Eucharist and various other kinds of things. So it was very traditional. Everything was in Latin as far as the Mass is concerned, and so forth. And we actually did not have any. We didn't have any kind of experience in terms of what to do about Vatican II. It was there. And we knew it was happening about 4 years before, and so they asked us to write a paper about Vatican councils, so that we'd get used to this. That was about it.
Okay.
And so we were ordained and thrown out there. My first Mass was a sung solemn high Mass, complete with all the we had deacon, subdeacon, we had the archpriest, we had servers, and all of that, and everything was totally in Latin. And so I guess about 2 or 3 months after 2 or 3 months after I was ordained, then we started adding a few little things in English in the Mass at that time. And then within 6 months, we were doing a daily Mass in English all the way. But it didn't happen all at one time, and that's why we have those little missalettes.
Interesting.
That because it was changing. It was we didn't even have a missal.
Right.
There was no missal at that time. They didn't have a missal until 68. And that's when I moved from there to Waco, to St. Mary's. So it was a good experience, and I think how I learned about it is that there was always, there were programs that were set up during the summertime, and so it would take a week off or something like that to go and make these seminars, etc.
So you get training and with the new Mass and the changes that came to the liturgy.
Yeah, some of that, yes, but most of it was the theology behind it.
Okay.
Why are we doing this? This is what I think was so important, is that why did we change from Latin to English? It was a reason for that, is that so we could understand what was going on. And the same thing, with having your back to the people. If you're facing the people, you're inviting the people to be a part of that Eucharist. It's their Eucharist. It's not mine. It's theirs. So I think that those are the kinds of things that there was a reason for these things. So I enjoyed it. I had a very good mentor. My pastor was Mac Deason, and he was also the secretary to the bishop at that time, Riker.
Okay.
So anyway,
Speaking of Bishop Riker, so you're unique in our diocese in that you're a priest who served under every bishop of our diocese, since its creation. Could you tell us a little bit about working with each of the, five, soon to be soon six bishops?
Yeah, I think Bishop Riker was a builder priest, a builder bishop, and he loved to do that, and he was a great fundraiser. He did a lot of things, that would put things together. And I think one of the parishes that he did in East Austin, he built a church, and they didn't take anything from the community. He built the thing himself, and then that's where they started it. Wow. There in East Austin.
Which parish was that? Do you remember?
That would have been. Sorry, gonna have to cut this one.
That's okay. Cristo Rey or
Cristo Rey.
Cristo Rey. Okay.
Cristo Rey. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what else? Oh, and then after that we had Harris. Bishop Harris was he was a very, I would say probably he was hard to talk to in one respect because he was very formal. And but then after that we had who was it that came after?
McCarthy, right? Was it McCarthy after?
Yeah, that's right, McCarthy.
Uh-huh.
McCarthy, and then McCarthy, of course, was social justice. Very much into that. And then after him, Amon was education. Amon always wanted to make sure that people had degrees and so forth before he hired them, and all this kind of thing. So then after Amon Vasquez then became the bishop, and he was, I think, concerned about where are the people, where are the priests, and so forth. So he was always there for us, and if we ever wanted to talk to him or anything of that nature, he was there. And he kept the rules. He would if something came along and he wasn't quite sure, he'd call the bishop's commission, and all this, get everything straight. He liked to be. He kept what the rule was, pretty much so. And so that's the way I would say. And I don't know what Danny's going to do. Yeah.
So yeah, you've really seen a lot of changes, not only as the diocese, as Austin, Central Texas have grown, but you went through the civil rights movement, the Vietnam. You were at A&M during Vietnam, if I remember correctly, yes. And just the growing Hispanic community and their presence in the diocese. Tell us a little bit more about living through those experiences. What was that like as a priest?
Yeah. Well, we had at A&M. It was a military school. They were just turning from where you had to be in the ROTC, and they were just getting to that point, and so everybody was still very military because of that, and it still is. And we would have people that would pray for at Mass, because things were changing in Mass, and so because of that, we opened it up for people to say, who else do you want to pray to? And so we had some remarks and so forth along that line that we had to stop doing that.
Stop the war, you mean?
That's right. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
how'd you balance that with, because you had some students who were no doubt going to go off to the war, and then you had others who were more the peace movement. How'd you balance that?
Yeah, it was difficult, and I in the ministry that we did at that time doesn't even hold a candle to what is going on now,
Mm-hmm.
because it's totally different. You know, we were more at the attitude of saying, we're here for you, and if you want to come out, you know, we'll work with you. And we did some of the stuff, but not nearly as what's going on now
Mm-hmm.
at A&M.
Mm-hmm.
But I really did, and as far as all the various assignments that I had, there was no bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I refuse to think that there's a bad assignment anywhere if you want to really serve.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we had, and it was also difficult too. During that time, there were, you know, people that were, some of the priests were leaving active ministry and so forth,
Right.
and so that was all, you know, kind of a sad thing
Mm-hmm.
that we had to go through, and for that to all be, you know, there. Um, so, what else to say
Did
about that?
Did you have any like good priest mentors or priest friends you could really who have like
Oh
you've leaned
yeah,
on throughout your life that have helped
yeah,
you in those hard moments?
yeah. That was that was the other thing that I would say, that um, there was a lot of you know, priests working together
Mm-hmm.
and being there. Like when I came to Waco, Belmead, I would go over there occasionally, as Ralph Brennan and Lonnie Urban was there at that time, and so we'd get through with things. You know, a meeting maybe you'd have at like at 7 o'clock, and you'd get through with at about 8 o'clock, and then you'd go over and, you know, uh, have a drink or something, you know, and they were really. And the other thing too is, we every now and then sometimes somebody would say, Bully Zintek was in he was in a he was a chaplain there at the hospital, and so he would say, I got some sausage. We're going down to the river, so come on down for lunch. And so it was just right at the, you know, at the call of whenever it happened. So there was that was very important to me
Mm-hmm.
as time went on,
Yeah.
and so I realized that, and so I had started for, I guess, for about, well, I did it for about 20 years.
Mm.
On New Year's Day, I would do a priest dinner,
Mm.
and I would, you know, cook the whole thing myself and
Wow.
invite them, and of course McCarthy was always willing to do to get be there and be there.
Mm.
We Eamon was there, and during that time, and so it was good. That was my time at St. Thomas More.
Mm.
I didn't say anything about that, but that was a great experience for me too.
That was a longer assignment, right?
Yeah,
That
20
was
years.
okay. So you really saw
Yeah,
growth in that
yeah,
parish over a long period
yeah.
of time and families, different generations coming, and
Yes.
that had to
Yep.
be really special.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure. I want to ask you, so, we were talking about, just the different changes that you've seen in your life as a priest, from the Second Vatican Council to the changes in our society. And I mean, you well, probably aware yourself, we're going through major changes in our society today, especially with technology, social media, artificial intelligence is really changing a lot of things for how we relate to each other, for society, and the church is really grappling with how do we minister in the world today. What would your advice be to priests today, to guys who are thinking about the priesthood in terms of specifically as priests, how we should approach kind of a changing world and these emerging issues? What would be some things for us to consider and hold fast to in the midst of the change?
well, I think as long as we do things that are going to create good things for people,
Mm-hmm.
to put the people first
Mm-hmm.
and see what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole idea of, of actually, as Francis was saying, smelling like the sheep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that concept or idea
Mm-hmm.
is what I think we need to first look at. Is it something good?
Mm-hmm.
If it's
Mm-hmm.
if it's something that's good, then if it brings something good to life and to our faith, then I think we should look at it. But then we also have to be careful to see what that is.
Sure.
There's we can lose control of everything, and then we're just kind of out there paddling just to stay above the water.
It's a good litmus test.
Yeah,
See, St. Augustine talked about taking the Egyptian gold, things that were good
yeah.
from the ancient world, and bring them into the church, and not to be able to guide our flock in the midst of that. Um, Anything else you'd like to, what would you say to, I'm a newly ordained priest, been ordained 3 months. What would you say to, a new priest or a young man thinking about the priesthood?
Well, I think as far as thinking about the priesthood, there's now some good changes that has taken place, and it gives you an opportunity to really experience it a little bit even before you make um, uh, an idea of, and I don't remember all the names of this
Like the
now.
propedeutic or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
changes.
yeah. So that's, I think, that helps the person to know that, and it also says, okay, we're going to try this out and see what it's about. It's more, I think when I went into the seminary, I thought, well, gosh, if I get into this, I got to stay with this all the way through,
Hmm.
so, which is not bad, but at the same time, I think that it's an inviting kind of a thing to try it out and see what it's about, and I think that's a positive thing.
Amen.
Yeah. And as far as the new things, it's kind of interesting. When we had all the Latin masses and so forth when I was in the seminary, and then we changed to English, and now people want to go back to Latin again.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe some of the things that we see that the pendulum swings back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what we have to look at, and to say, and that's my consolation. I find it difficult now uh, to say that it is good in some of the things that we're doing. The um, as far as liturgies and so forth is concerned, but I guess there was a lot of the older priests that when Vatican II came along, they had a problem with that too. So I didn't have a problem with it as a young person, and I welcomed it. But here I am as an old man, and I see things changing, things I don't like. It's kind of looked like we're turning in on ourselves, and so forth. So, but it'll be okay. I have anything that doesn't change is dead. And so if we want life, we got to always look for something new.
Sure. That's a good encouragement, as we, look ahead and to be rooted in Christ and not be afraid of change as that comes, but, be rooted in Him who is, the one who will never change. Monsignor Holtman, thanks for chatting.
Appreciate it. Thank you.